The MiG-41, also referred to under the PAK DP designation, has been publicly framed by Russia as its future sixth-generation interceptor, intended to eventually replace the Soviet-era MiG-31. However, as of 2025, there is no credible evidence that the MiG-41 exists beyond theoretical planning and computer-generated concept art. Despite ongoing declarations from Russian state media and vague statements from aerospace figures, the aircraft remains a project without a prototype, without verifiable engineering milestones, and without proof of sustained development. The lack of transparency surrounding the MiG-41 fits a familiar pattern in Russian military-industrial projects, where announcements are used more for psychological warfare and image projection than as representations of actual capability. Russia has repeatedly promoted advanced weapon systems that either never entered mass production or failed outright, including the Su-75 Checkmate, the T-14 Armata tank, and the Okhotnik stealth drone. These projects are routinely showcased at defense expos or in propaganda videos, but they do not translate into real battlefield strength. The MiG-41 appears to be following the same trajectory, one dominated by high-concept ambition with no substance. The technical claims surrounding the MiG-41 are deeply unrealistic given current Russian capabilities. It is described as a Mach 4 to Mach 5 aircraft capable of flying at near-space altitudes, outfitted with directed energy weapons and armed with hypersonic missiles. These features not only remain out of reach for Russia but are also at the bleeding edge of what even the most advanced aerospace nations are developing. No existing stealth aircraft can fly anywhere near those speeds due to extreme thermal stress, structural fatigue, and the limitations of propulsion technology. No scramjet engine has ever been successfully integrated into a reusable manned aircraft, and Russia has no proven capability in this field. Similarly, the idea that the MiG-41 could use directed energy weapons or lasers to intercept enemy missiles or aircraft is pure speculation. Russia has never deployed operational airborne laser systems, and its defense sector is currently under extreme pressure due to Western sanctions, export bans, and massive losses in Ukraine. These sanctions have severely limited Russia's access to Western electronics, precision machinery, and semiconductor components, all essential for developing next-generation aircraft. Even current production of fourth- and fifth-generation aircraft like the Su-35 and Su-57 has slowed significantly, with units often delivered without completed radar suites, advanced engines, or integrated systems. The economic and industrial foundations required to develop something like the MiG-41 simply do not exist in Russia today. The country's aerospace sector has been starved of investment, talent, and international cooperation. Many experienced engineers have either left the country or been reassigned to lower-priority legacy platforms due to workforce shortages. Research institutions that once supported Cold War-era aircraft development have not kept pace with technological progress in other parts of the world. Even Russia's most visible aerospace achievement in recent decades, the Su-57, still lacks a domestic engine and full-rate production capacity, years after its debut. In this environment, it is implausible that a massively more complex and improved design like the MiG-41 could realistically reach service within the next decade. Publicly, Russian defense officials continue to claim that the MiG-41 will conduct its first flight in the mid-2020s, with serial production to follow sometime in the 2030s. But there is no visual confirmation of an airframe, no sightings from defense observers, no satellite evidence of prototype construction, and no contract awards to serial production firms. These are all standard indicators in serious military aerospace development, and their absence strongly suggests that the MiG-41 remains on paper only. Promises of sixth-generation capabilities are therefore best viewed not as strategic reality but as a deliberate information tool used to distract domestic and foreign audiences from Russia's current aviation weaknesses. Multiple defense analysts and think tanks have raised serious doubts about the MiG-41 ever becoming a functioning aircraft. The extreme performance specifications claimed by Russia would demand unprecedented breakthroughs in stealth materials, thermal shielding, propulsion, avionics, sensor fusion, and AI-assisted control systems. Russia currently struggles to integrate even existing technologies across its fleet. Instead of building real aircraft, the MiG-41 serves more as a propaganda narrative to suggest that Russia remains a top-tier air power, despite its actual declining capacity. In reality, most of the defense industry remains focused on sustaining Cold War-era systems like the MiG-31, Su-27 derivatives, and legacy radar platforms. The MiG-41, as of now, is a fiction of design rhetoric, not a threat in the air. Western defense communities largely dismiss the aircraft as vaporware. No credible defense journal or independent watchdog has confirmed any forward momentum in terms of production or test flights. Claims that the aircraft will be able to engage hypersonic missiles or function as a space interceptor lack any technological foundation. Russia has not demonstrated the engineering ecosystem required for such a leap, and its internal economic deterioration only makes that future less plausible. If the MiG-41 ever appears, it is likely to be in extremely limited numbers, with heavily downgraded capabilities, arriving decades late, if at all. For now, the MiG-41 is little more than a fantasy narrative in a country struggling to maintain its relevance in modern aerial warfare.